Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a look for you that I've worn in several of my films, but I haven't actually done a tutorial on this look. Now it has been a highly requested look, and it's a look that is very elongating to the eyes without it being an actual cat eye. I absolutely love cat eye makeup, and I do tend to find that with my eye shape it needs some kind of elongation just to pull the eyes out, otherwise they can start to look quite downturned. So I do like to wear looks that are quite elevating and elongating and uplifting to the eyes. However, when you wear cat eye makeup all the time, I think it can become quite exhausting, and I certainly exhausted the look, and I really don't like to wear cat eyes in their full graphic formation. Certainly not anymore. I also wanted to wear looks that are slightly softer, but still just as enhancing to my natural eye shape and eye colour. This look is actually very basic, it's very simple, and it works on all eye shapes and all eye types because it is simply blanking out the eyelid and then a little bit of sculpting through the socket and elongating with the same sculpting colour. So you get definition through the socket, but you also have elongation to the eyes, so it furthers the illusion of elongated eyes. It also has an element of colour underneath, and I think you can go for any colour that you like. Within this look I will be using very orangey, very warm colours because it contrasts with my blue eyes, enhancing them further. And I'm using matte tones. I'm not going to use shimmer tones, as I do like this look to look more reserved. However, if you are somebody with very, very dark eyes, I would suggest maybe using something that is a neutral tone, like a brown or a green, one of those really earthy browny greens, very chic colours with a tiny bit of sparkle. Just a tiny bit of sparkle in this look can look great, but it's really about emphasization on the underneath of the eye. The look doesn't really have that much eyeshadow on top of the eyelid, but it has quite a lot underneath and then a lot of eyelash, as we will be applying more than one set of eyelashes. Now I have already gone in and applied my moisturizer, my foundation, my colour corrector, my concealer, as well as set it all through with powder and applied eyebrows. First of all, I went in with Lait-Creme Concentrate, which is my favourite moisturiser. Then I applied Huda Beauty's Faux Filter Foundation in the shade Milkshake. I then went in and colour corrected with this peach tone by Derma. Having applied that corrector to the areas that required, I then went in with Kat Von D's Lock-It Concealer in the shade L1 Neutral. For eyebrows, I went in and applied MAC Cosmetics Powder Eyeshadow in the shade Omega to stencil out the shape. Then I applied MAC Cosmetics Powder Eyeshadow in the shade Brun and sketched in individual hairs, just to add fullness and slight faux natural. Now to begin the eyes, I'm just going to even out the tone by applying a slight amount of Bobbi Brown's Long Wear Cream Shadow in the shade Bone 1, which is this very pale bone colour. And I find that this product is best applied when using the fingers. I'm using this just as my primer to the eyelids, and I'm only applying a slight amount of it, just to even out the purple on my eyelids. Then I'm taking Illamasqua's powder eyeshadow in the shade Stealth, which is this very pale pastel cream colour. I would describe it as being an ivory tone. Now I tend to find with pale cream pastel shadows, the pigmentation never tends to be immediate. You always have to build it up. What I'm doing first of all is just packing that onto the lid with a MAC 227. And I'm taking it through the crease as well, all the way up to the eyebrow. This Stealth powder eyeshadow by Illamasqua is fantastic, as it is an almost matching tone to my natural skin tone. So as you can see, I'm just applying that roughly everywhere just to get a blank tone to the eyelid. As you can see, it just knocks back the discoloration that we have in the eye. This is a fantastic and superb technique. So first of all, I'm just using the natural colour of my skin across the eyelid just to neutralize the tone. You can do this no matter what color your skin might be. You would of course just adjust the color to suit and mimic your natural skin tone. Then I'm going to take MAC Cosmetics powder eyeshadow in the shade Brûlée on a Zova 228 brush. I have evidently hit pan with this eyeshadow, but it is an absolutely marvellous eyeshadow. It's great for applying a base transition colour. So if you have very, very fair skin like myself, sometimes going in with a medium brown as a transition colour for your look can appear slightly patchy to begin with. I tend to find that I have to use a base to my transition colours, sculpting through the natural socket that I have. Because this colour is not that far off my skin tone, you really don't pick it up that immediately. It does add a slight shadow. It's almost like my natural skin tone, but slightly darker. And as you can see, I'm only taking that halfway into the eye. I'm not taking it really that much further because I'm concentrating all of the colour at the outer part of the eye. And you can actually just wing it out ever so slightly. By applying a base transition colour or a base for your transition colour, you really create a seamless gradient. And I'm applying the same Brulee eyeshadow on an Inglot 80HPS brush, just to the lower lash line and connecting round. So we connect what we're applying in the socket round with what we're applying underneath. And this just pulls and lifts and connects the eye and brings the whole look together, but also serves as a base and a transitional base for the colours that we're going to apply next. As you can see, it just gives us subtle definition. Then I'm going to go in and apply some of MAC Cosmetics powder eyeshadow in the shade Omega on the same Zova 228 brush. And I'm just sculpting that through the socket, but mainly concentrating it at the outer corner and winging it out slightly. And then on a Zova 231 brush, I'm just going to pack that on quite heavily at the outer corner and swish it slightly over the lash line from the outer corner inward into the eye, so that we have greater definition on the outer corner of the upper lash line. And with a MAC 217, I'm just taking some of that Omega colour just slightly under the eye, just to connect what we've applied on top with what we've applied on the underneath. Then I'm taking a clean Zova 228 brush and I'm just smoothing in all edges ever so slightly, just to ensure seamlessness. So that's the eyeshadow on the top more or less complete. I'm not going to apply any more eyeshadow on the eyelid itself. Maybe a tiny little bit of black or dark brown to the upper lash line. I'm not quite sure. I didn't do that originally, but it can provide a guide when applying false eyelashes. Now for the underneath of the eyes, I'm going to be applying two eyeshadows. And first of all, on the lower lash line, I'm going to apply Illamasqua's powder eyeshadow in the shade Vernet. And I'm taking a very slight amount of that on a Charles Fox 814631 brush. I would definitely say this shade is in the Omega family, but it is vastly warmer and a lot darker. And I'm swishing it out ever so slightly and bringing it out and dragging it up and out, just so that we connect it ever so slightly into what we've applied in the socket. And I'm going to take that right into the inner corner. This Vernet shade will act as a base for the eyeshadow that we're going to apply next. And this gives us the illusion of much longer feline eyes without having to apply black. And what I'm doing in the inner corner is just dragging it down ever so slightly, as it will just pull the eye down in the inner corner. And in conjunction with the rest of the look, which is elongating, it just creates the illusion of a much more feline long eye. I'm going back in with a 231 brush, and I'm just softening those edges. And on the same Charles Fox brush, I'm then going to go in and apply Illamasqua's powder eyeshadow in the shade Vapor. And I'm just going to apply a very slight amount of this just to warm up the look. And just by applying a slight amount, you can see that it immediately lifts, contrasts, and brightens my blue eyes. So by adding a tone that contrasts with your natural eye colour as a hue to the eyes, it shall complement your natural eye colour immensely. So that is all the eyeshadow for the look now applied. I'm now just going to go in and curl my eyelashes. And then I'm going in with the Balm's What's Your Type mascara in the shade Black, which is an absolute favourite mascara of mine. Now I actually apply mascara looking down into a mirror because mascara is very, very malevolent and it likes to transfer. It likes to transfer to the eyelid. So I first of all apply it just very liberally to the lashes. You actually get a better gauge of the amount of mascara going on the eyelashes from applying it below. Now if you get a slight amount of mascara on the eyelid, as I have just done so, sometimes by taking a Q-tip or cotton bud, whatever it's titled in the region that you come from, you can just sometimes edit and erase a tiny amount by rolling and rubbing. Never really rub, just roll. So you're almost just grabbing the mascara and taking it off. So by just rubbing and rolling ever so slightly, you can remove any mascara that has tragically transferred. Now I never apply mascara to the lower lash line with a mascara wand. I do tend to find that mascara on my lower lashes always goes wrong when I apply it with the wand. I do tend to use a brush to apply mascara, and I only just coat the lashes just to blacken them, because I find that when I apply mascara with the wand, it overloads and overcoats the eyelashes with mascara. And when I do apply mascara to the lower lashes, I do tend to find that either an hour or several hours later, the mascara starts to perform some very nefarious juju and I get black all around here. So one technique that I have used to counteract that, and I have tried many a mascara And I have found that the Balm's What's Your Type seems to be the best one so far for this technique on me. Mascara is one of those things that is absolutely subjective to the individual. Not all mascaras are going to be fantastic for you. You will find your own ideal mascara. And I take a little bit of that mascara on a brush and I just coat lashes, applying a lot at the roots and working outward. So with the mascara applied, you really get an idea of the shape of the eyeshadow once the mascara is applied. So you might have to go back in and just blend over any areas that appear a little bit patchy. I'm just going back over the eyeshadow that we applied earlier ever so slightly, just to ensure that we have seamlessness. But now I'm going to go in and apply a set of false eyelashes. These ones are by Primalash. But because these eyelashes are too long, and what I mean by that is not their length and how long the eyelashes themselves are, but how long it is for the eye. So if I apply that to my eye, just like that, without any glue, you can actually see that the band is too long for my eyes. So what I actually like to do is take the eyelashes and cut about 1 centimetre off the band. And that way the eyelash will then fit on my eye nicely, and you will have a spare bit of eyelash that you can apply on top of the first eyelash. And that way you bring more elongation and feline effect to the outer quadrant of the eye, further creating the illusion of an elongated eye. And now I'm going to glue the eyelashes to my lash line with some duo adhesive. So that is the eyelashes now applied, and the glue is going to dry clear. I definitely quite like this technique, as I do not like false eyelashes to look too stiff or too perfect. I like them to be slightly uneven, so that the eyelashes look, of course, excessive, but they don't look too artificial and stiff. And now I'm going to take a slight amount of Illamasqua's powder eyeshadow in the shade Obsidian on a Space NK liner brush, and I'm just going to press that into the lower lash line at the outer corner. This just adds greater definition to the roots of the eyelash. So that more or less completes the eyes. I'm now going to go in and apply Kryolan's powder eyeshadow in the shade Sahara as my contour. And I'm stippling that on a NARS number 6 brush. Working it down from the ear. And I want the contour to look quite warm. So I'm using a slightly more warmer tone than I normally would. Now I'm going to apply my very favourite blusher. This is MAC Cosmetics powder blusher in the shade Blush Baby. And I shall use the same brush. I'm just going to lightly stipple that onto the cheek. Not too much of it, but just enough to warm up the look. I do tend to stick with products that I know work and suit and flatter my skin the best. So some products will seem and appear very regular within my films. And one of these products that I use frequently, and I'm sure you are getting quite familiar with it, is Illamasqua's powder eyeshadow in the shade Cascade. And this is a reflex blue shimmer eyeshadow, and I use this as my highlighter. And I apply quite a liberal amount of that to the cheeks. And a little bit under the brow. And on the temples. Just swoosh it over so it's seamless. A tiny bit on the forehead. Just sketch it in there so that there's slight light when you turn. And for lips, I'm going to remove the foundation and the concealer that is currently on them with a slight amount of Garnier's cleansing water. With the lips now bare, I'm going to apply some of Charlotte Tilbury's lip liner Lip Cheat in the shade Pillow Talk. And I'm just going to overdraw the lips ever so slightly. And with the lips now lined, I'm going to go in and apply Huda Beauty's Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade Bombshell. It is a very similar colour to my natural lips. Now I actually quite like the pale pinkiness of the lips before I went in and applied the lipstick. So I'm going to go in and apply this MAC Cosmetics lipstick, which is one of their luster formulations in the shade Plink, right on top of the lipstick that we've just applied. And then to add slight highlight to the lips, I'm going to dab on a light amount of Kat Von D's Lock-It Concealer in the shade L1 Neutral. And just dabbing it into the centre. And smoothing it in with my finger. And you can actually take a brush just to merge everything together. So that more or less completes the look. I absolutely love wearing this look as it is quite defining, it's enhancing, yet it's very simplistic at the same time. It allows me to elongate and uplift my eyes, and it's great for my eyes which are quite hooded, but as well, it's actually very simple. There isn't a lot of eyeshadow, there's just a lot of makeup. But I think to summarise, it's a sort of the look that I do believe can work on everyone. You just adjust it to your skin tone and to your eye colour. So all you're really doing is blanking out the eyelid with your skin tone colour and then sculpting through your socket with a slightly darker shade just to enhance and to deepen the socket. And then on the underneath of the eye, we're adding a tone that contrasts with your eye colour. So in my case, oranges and bronzes and golds contrast with my natural eye colour, which is blue. However, with this look, I didn't want to apply metallics. I wanted to use mattes so that it all looks very neutral and very simplistic. I very much like how easy this look is, yet it looks very polished and put together. So I would definitely say this look is suitable for all occasions. It is a very feminine look, and I would almost describe it as an implicit cat eye, because it has the elongation and the definition and the feline effect of a cat eye, yet it doesn't have the same harshness as graphic cat eyes. But I hope that you have found today's film either interesting, useful, helpful, or beneficial. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and of course, take care of yourself. Bye!